Hello there. Have you ever experienced trouble sleeping? And if you're into fitness, which you might be, have you ever felt the impact of such bad night's sleep on your performance in the gym? Like not performing your best? Sleep is absolutely essential for recovery. Not only physiological muscle recovery, but for so many functions in our body, including brain functions, cognitive functions, sleep is so essential. Yet at the same time, sleeping, falling asleep, or staying asleep can be sometimes so difficult and elusive. I think everybody at some point experiences troubles falling asleep or staying asleep. That's normal. You're not alone. Everybody has been there. It's normal to have stressful periods in life, whether that's a tough period at work or tough personal life situation. At some point, yes, we are stressed. There's a lot of anxiety, and the mind just doesn't stop at night. There's also a situation where such difficulty to stay asleep actually becomes chronic, and that's what we're actually talking insomnia. Whatever the case, ultimately what you're actually dealing with is this combination of mental, emotional, and nervous system mix of factors that are actually creating this trouble and difficulty to fall asleep and or stay asleep. Normally, people do have the tendency to give different recommendations, and you hear this from the doctors, you hear this from the wellness industry, just breathe or meditate or do some yoga, something to calm down, right? While the recommendation might come from a good place and with a good intention, of course, it might not always work. The same way sleeping pills might not always work. First off, there's no general recommendation, there's no general advice. It's not like one size fits all advice that you can just apply across all situations or people. No, this is very individual. So if you are experiencing such difficulty or have been, or anybody in your close circle, the answer is going to be very individual, and there will be few trial and errors to figure out what actually works for you specifically. If you want to try something that is more on the calming the nervous system down and calming the mind, calming the emotional, mental, nervous system complex, yes, you probably have heard meditation, breathing, but it doesn't always work. And I wanted to touch base a little bit. Why? If you can imagine the parallel of a car driving 100 kilometers an hour on a highway, and then you want to pull the handbrake. Is that a good idea? Probably not, unless you want to drift, of course. Well, that's a little bit the parallel of your mind. If your mind is racing and it's kind of like the car in 100 kilometers per hour on the highway, trying to calm it down by breathing, just plain breathing, it's not gonna cut it. Yes, few deep breaths, 3, 5, 10, that's going to help to calm you down a little bit on the spot, but it's not going to get you to a place where you're actually able to drift off into a good night deep sleep. The thing is that there is probably some leftover buzzing energy still left in your body from the stress of the day or the days or the weeks before. And you might actually need to deal with that first. So I wanted to share today a piece of advice that is, before actually going into you're usual or into trying out some kind of relaxation technique, whether yoga, whether breathing, before that, maybe you might need to discharge actually some of the physical energy. So, what to do? You might want to go on a brisk walk around the block. You might want to do 5 or 10 minutes of some light exercise, but to get your heart rate up a little bit. A few jumping jacks, few squats, few push-ups, just that. Not too much, of course. Don't go for an entire 20-30 minute set. That probably would wake you up too much, but just something that will allow you to discharge. Or just like put on your favorite music and dance in the kitchen like nobody's watching. Totally. Something like that. You just want to discharge the energy from your body. Then maybe you might be able to sit down for a meditation, or sit down for a breathing exercise, or a gentle yoga flow for you to further calm down your entire system. One piece of information that we might not necessarily be completely aware of is how much we are actually on a daily basis and during the day and right before our sleep and bedtime exposed to stuff that actually activates our nervous system. That is, you might need to actually look into what is your caffeine consumption? How much coffee or tea do you drink? And it's not just like the amount of it, but the timing of it. If you drink even an afternoon coffee to wake up from your post-lunch slumber, you might actually be setting yourself up for difficulty falling asleep in the evening. Also, blue light. Today we're surrounded 24/7, almost literally, with blue light from screens, whether that's the computer at your work or whether that's the phone in your pocket that you check, I don't know, gazillion times during the day, including right as you're going to bed. You're just checking last few emails. Not a good idea. So yes, you might want to try discharging some energy with exercise and then going for relaxation. At the same time, you might need to combine that with some detox of these stimulants, whether that's coffee. Maybe just don't drink caffeinated drinks, after 3 p.m. Maybe try to give yourself half hour without any screen before you actually go to bed. Different kind of tips. There is an amazing book that I was very much inspired by, and I think I might actually do an entire review on. And it's called Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. If you want to know more, either wait for my review or get yourself the book, because honestly, there's just so much information. So next time you are experiencing some difficulty to fall asleep or trouble staying asleep, see if you can maybe try out some of these tips, some exercise and then relaxation. Pay attention to what is your daily routine in terms of stimulation of your nervous system. And then hopefully, you might find a recipe, a combination for yourself that is going to make falling asleep and staying asleep a bit easier for you. Thank you for tuning into this video, and I see you in the next one. Bye. Good night.